And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
Now it's time to announce the winner of the Car Story with Dad giveaway contest. And as I mentioned before, the winner will receive a Passport Max Premium HD radar laser detector, a $550 value, compliments of Escort radar. And by the way, the Passport Max is the first radar detector with HD radar performance, equipped with unique Escort features like Auto Learn and the Defender database. Passport Max delivers a faster response time, greater sensitivity, and more accurate signal recognition. The Passport Max features high-speed digital signal processing, which removes the RF, that's radio frequency interference, and then identifies radar threats other detectors don't even see. Passport Max sports brilliant new graphics and illuminating intuitive icons to pinpoint those particular threats and protect you from a ticket. And the Passport Max is compatible with the Escort Live, that's Escort's social networking for the road, a real-time ticket protection network which warns you of upcoming alerts received and reported by other users in the same area. Okay, Tony, a drum roll, please. There you go. The winner of the Passport Max is, and folks, this is really, really way cool, Glen Miller, just outside of Chicago, Illinois. And I want to share with you Glen's car story with Dad. And I quote here from Glen Miller. My dad recently passed away in Florida in April 2014 from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I miss him every day. But let's go to where the story begins. Dad was the one who taught me everything I know about and love about cars, a lifelong mechanic who started wrenching on vehicles in the Army. He was the guy who showed me how to do my first oil change, use a timing gun, change the points and distributor cap, and gap spark plugs. I was about 8 at the time when he showed me how to properly work on a car and wear the proper equipment and use the proper tools from Bosch and Mack and Craftsman and Snap-on. Not one to ignore the fit and finish of a vehicle, he made sure that I knew how to wash the car, wax it, and check the tires for proper inflation, some of which have seemed to be forgotten this day and time in this era of electronic control modules like tire pressure monitors and automatic car washes. And he goes on to say that Dad owned everything in the state from a 60 Bel Air Plymouth wagon, B-body Roadrunner, to a modified 69 VW Beetle with a 2180cc engine. Yeah, that's modified, all right. And whenever he worked on cars, I'd be out there inquisitively asking him about this and that and why. A typical kid, I wanted to know it all. He was always patient with me and showed me how to change the oil without getting it all over the engine or the pavement where we worked. He had a thing for Castrol GTX, that thick orangey stuff that flowed like syrup from the bottle. Folks would probably use 2050 back at that time. He also loved to clean the air filter on his cars with his air hose, and then he'd give me a little air squirt to ruffle my hair. I miss my dad and everything he taught me about cars, but his legend lives on. Today, I have a stable of 9 cars, ranging from a 2012 Roush Stage 2 Mustang to a Kleeman S7 Mercedes C55 AMG to a Sienna SE minivan. All great vehicles, and all serving a different purpose. If it weren't for my dad, who showed me all the ropes about cars and taking care of them, I wouldn't have the love affair today that I have with the automobile. God bless you, Dad. I miss you, but know this, that every day when I get in a car and turn the key, I think about you and the joy of driving. Glen Miller out of Chicago, Illinois. And Tony, I know that we're going to get Glen Miller on the phone, so let's get him on the phone now and give him a call. And this is really way cool. And for those out there of you, your dads and your sons and daughters, happy Father's Day to everyone. Here we go. And we're live radio. And the gentleman's name is Glen.
Hello?
Glen Miller, Bobby Likis here.
Hey, Bobby.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I couldn't be any better. I just read your letter, wrote it. I didn't write it. You wrote it. I just read it on the air, and you have to be proud. Your dad would have been proud, and I want you to know that I really thank you for sharing your experiences with us. And as you're aware, you're the winner of the Escort Passport Max.
Yes, sir, and I'm really excited about that. Thank you.
Well, you're more than welcome. What's the first? You said in your letter you were like 8 years old. Do you remember the first time that you ever really did something screwed up really badly, and you never forget it?
Yeah, I put the oil into the windshield washer reservoir.
Well,
my dad's looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I thought that's where it goes. It was a cap."
Yeah. Well, yeah, it had a cap. Why not? Yeah, 6'1". I actually fell out of a car when I was very young. We were driving very slowly across this bridge in South Carolina, sightseeing. And I was experimenting with the rear door to open it up to see how far I had to move it before the door would open. And like if it had a trigger on it, a fast trigger like a gun. And and I did it several times, and I finally leaned out and fell out of the car, and sure enough, here I was running down the road crying and said, don't leave me. My mom turned around to my brother and said, "Where's Bobby?" And my brother said, he fell out. Yeah, really? That was typical what my brother would do.
Get hurt.
No, I didn't get hurt. I was a roly-poly little fat kid. I could hurt a little fat kid. What did your dad drive?
He's had everything from he was a Mopar man initially, and he had everything from Chargers and Road Runners, and the only engine he never owned was a 426, and but other than that, the 383s, the 340s, the six packs, he had everything you could imagine.
Well,
and
I'm sorry. I want to thank you in the interest of time. I want to thank you for sharing your car story with Dad, and I want to congratulate you on your winning the Passport Max. And let me tell you, here's what I love most about mine, and you'll tune your own Passport Max. You can set the warning in it so that it warns you if you're exceeding the local speed limit by 5 miles per hour or 10 or 15.
That's fantastic.
I set mine at 10. Otherwise, every time you turn a corner, you're exceeding speed limit, and you will tend to ignore it. So don't set it so sensitive that it warns you too often. Set it at 10 miles per hour, and then after you've driven with your Passport Max, I'd love for you to call me back and give me a report of how you like it, and tell me a little more about your experience. Okay?
I will, Bobby, and I'll do you one better. I'm gonna. My son went to Florida State, and I'm a Gator. So we go down there quite frequently, pass through Pensacola. So I'm going to stop by and see you sometime.
That is fantastic. I'm a Florida State fan, and Tony Gregory, our producer, is a Gator. So he just
go Gators.
Go Gators! Listen.
Well, you guys are like me. You have what they call a house divided.
Yeah. Hey, Heartbreak coming up. Glen, again, congratulations on the Passport Max.
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out to my mom, Fran, in Ormond Beach.
Thank you, Fran, Ormond Beach. Glen Miller.